Premier League transfer update. So, Lucas Paqueta from Lyon to West Ham is a here we go transfer. He's a very good player in my opinion, and I think he could be a player that could improve West Ham's squad depth. And I think the good thing about West Ham is that they've actually got him ahead of clubs like City, Newcastle, and like the top 6 clubs. And it's a good sign for West Ham that he went there instead of like going to like a club that's like in the original top 6. And I think he's going to do really well at West Ham, and I think he's going to improve them as a side. Because they haven't started this season well. Yes, they got a good result against Villa, but before that, in the league, their form wasn't good enough. And also, I'm going to talk about Antony and United. Obviously, it's a here-we-go transfer confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. But obviously, because he's a South American player, he needs a work permit. And I'm sure that will get sorted out sooner rather than later. But I still think United need that player in central midfield because Eriksen hasn't set the world alight so far. And Fred, he's not that bad, but he's not going to be a player that's going to bring you closer to top 4. I think United should have gone in for Lucas Paqueta because I think he's a very good player and I think he would be a perfect fit in United. But obviously because West Ham got in there before them, got my words mixed up there. And also their signing of Martin Dubravka literally makes no sense because obviously it's a here we go transfer just of like recent. It makes no sense because Dean Henderson was superb for Forest yesterday. Yes, people could have arguably said that he could have done better for the Harry Kane first goal, but he saved a penalty from Harry Kane, and Harry Kane rarely ever misses from the penalty spot. And I think he's a keeper that deserves more credit. And United loaning him out literally makes no sense for them to buy Martin Dubravka, because why buy a keeper that Newcastle got rid of and bought in Nick Pope in because he wasn't good enough for Newcastle? If he's not good enough for Newcastle, then how is he supposed to be good enough for Manchester United? I know United aren't that good at the moment, but they're arguably like in the top 4 teams in the world, if not the top 3. And Martin Dubravka in my opinion, is a championship level goalkeeper. And I don't get why United are bringing him in to be a second choice keeper. He's not going to push De Gea off his limits. And that's why I think they should have given Dean Henderson a chance, because that's what I think Dean Henderson would have done to David De Gea. And obviously Chelsea getting Fofana in. I think he's a world-class centre-back, and I think he's going to do very good things for Chelsea, and I think he's going to improve them defensively, and I think it's a major blow for Leicester because, in my opinion, he was arguably their best player behind Jamie Vardy. And Leicester, I think, are going to be in for a tough season. I wouldn't even be surprised if they went down because they've done zero recruitment and they've got rid of their 2 best players. Well, not 2 best players, because Schmeichel was probably 3rd or 4th for them at the moment, or before that he was sold. And Schmeichel, they shouldn't have sold him because he was arguably maybe in the top 10 keepers in the league. And I don't think they should have sold Fofana either because he was arguably in the top 10 centre-backs in the league as well. And Leicester, they're not looking great at the moment, and I think they need to sack Brendan Rodgers as well, because I don't think he's good enough. Because he won nothing at Liverpool. Yes, he did good at Celtic, but if you do well in the Scottish League, it doesn't mean that you're going to do well in the Premiership. I can see Pochettino going to either Aston Villa or Leicester, because Villa, because they've got loads of South American players, and Pochettino is from a South American country in Argentina, so I think Pochettino to Aston Villa would make sense in that sense because of the connection of like South America. And I'm also going to give credit to Arsenal, because I think they've had a very good transfer window. Taking Jesus of City and Zinchenko of City, two really good signings. And also they got Fabio Vieira in. Obviously he hasn't done much yet, but obviously time will tell if that will be a good signing. Jesus is going to do well, and I think he's going to be up there with Haaland with the Golden Boot. And I think Zinchenko is better than Tierney in my opinion, and obviously he's more fitter than Kieran Tierney, because Kieran Tierney usually gets injured once or twice every season, maybe even more. And I think Arsenal, they should be getting top four. Or if Chelsea don't make any last minute moves in the transfer window, they're gonna pip Chelsea to that fourth spot in my opinion. And Chelsea with the Anthony Gordon thing. He's a good player, but he's nowhere near a £60 million player. He's 35 million at the best, and in my opinion, Everton should sell him, because there was talk of like a swap deal between Gallagher and Brozier. And I think those are two good players. And I think Everton could develop into a decent team if they got those two players in. Yes, it would be a bit of a disappointment for Everton to get rid of Anthony Gordon. But this English tax thing is just like stupid, because if like Gordon was not English, he would probably be 20 million at the best. But because he's English, he's coming a £60 million player, which is just simply ridiculous, because what's he really done in his career? He gets fans off their seat because like he's an exciting player, but apart from that, what else does he really bring to Everton? And I feel like Chelsea shouldn't get Aubameyang in. He was good at Arsenal and he was good at Dortmund, but at Barcelona he hasn't really done much, and his age is catching up with him. I think Chelsea should have gone for Lewandowski when he was available, but obviously they didn't go for him, and Barcelona managed to snap him up. And I think that could be something that they could regret down the long line if they end up finishing outside the top four because of lack of goals. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Closing in on 140 subscribers, so if you could help me get there, that would be massively appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And also my Premier League predictions for this match week, for like the midweek fixtures, will be coming out soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.